is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
When you finally boil it all down, magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Ice Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. Shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. All right, what's up, everybody? Saturday night, you know what that means. It's time to become fearless. Trouble. My name's Frank Castle. Welcome to the Now. I'm here with my co-host and etherical translator, Paula. Say hello.
Say hello.
It's been a crazy week once again. A lot of things going on. Full moon. We discuss mostly on this show, specifically the stories dealing with working with the plant medicines. We never really mention things that are going on actually around us other than the stories.
Right.
What we've been hearing, and we were just talking about this a few minutes ago, was that the message has been like upgraded, right?
Yeah.
Upgraded to what, you think? A little more potent now. Now the message is coming through.
More often. A little clearer. Yeah.
And there's a little hint more of what we've been saying for quite some time now. And by a little hint of more, I mean quite a lot. Even the messages that are coming through channeling contacts, people do that. They've been doing it for a very, very long time. I don't know if you people out there believe in that, but it's true. And the message has changed pretty much across the board to what's really happening here, what's been going on. A lot of the stuff that we talk about that goes directly to these entities, deities, demons, whatever you want to call them, archetypes. They're saying this is real. And this is happening now, and it's all happening now, right here on the planet now, in front of us, around us, in areas up in space we just can't see. It's just out of our view. We're being lied to. There's many, 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 many things going on, and it's getting incredibly strange for people. And it's, I want to tell my story so I can catch up, so we can play day by day, to week by week, to what happens with this.
Okay.
Because that's the idea of doing the show, is to talk about the stories. So there's a basic understanding of everything that's happening, because I think by the time we catch up to it, we'll be up to it probably by midsummer. We'll be all caught up and on the spot. And then everything that I've been hearing that I don't channel, I directly speak to. And there's been a lot of talk of economic issues. So I just want to say to everyone, like, you got to heal your spiritual side, but you got to protect yourself, economic speaking,
financially, take care of your business.
Yeah, you have to take care of all your business. The food has poison in it. The water has poison in it. The air has poison in it. Everyone's getting found out now. You got to store some stuff, take care of some business, put something aside. I just worry about stuff like that. I used to get nervous. They used to tell me, I'd go to the other side. They'd say, the whole world is, going crazy. The next day I wake up and it's like, wow, I don't know. What do I do? Buy gold and silver? Should I go bunker down? And they're like, no. It's not tomorrow. This is a preparation. Hopefully nothing happens, but most likely something will happen. Everyone's screaming it. And in the background, it's looming. And the only way to get this disclosure rolling, I see, is the economic collapse, the change of the currency, change of the time, the currency. Everything's going to flip at once. Our job here on True Frequency, specifically mine and my co-host here, is to help prepare you for this a little bit, because
share information.
We're sharing all the information because we don't know when. I'm not giving a timeline. I just know when you look at what's happening now, it's a clown show all around us. Please, your awareness level has to go up. It's fun to talk about reptilians on the air, right? But while that's going on, you have to take action in your daily life. People don't know what to do. They always ask, well, you got information now. What do you do with it? Thought about that. I have something that sums it up pretty well, right? Because I always wondered, how do you change the world, right? You don't change the world, you change yourself, because I alone can't change society for the better, but I can radically transform my own consciousness, overturning the conditions that limit my potential. We can all do this one by one. Over time, we can change ourselves to the degree that society changes from the inside out, giving birth to a new way of being, manifesting our birthright of living in a peaceful and abundant world. Have no fear, trust yourself, and live your full potential. Don't worry about what your neighbor thinks about you. Don't worry about what your mother thinks about you. If people think you're weird, go find other weird people to hang out with, because like-minded are drawing the attraction, and we're going to be the safety net for those that laugh in your face. And we've been screaming about this for years. If it doesn't look like a giant clown show around you, and then the fact is everything is going on. They have you worried about transgenders in the bathroom. Meanwhile, there's nuclear facilities leaking horribly. It makes me wonder, They put out, hey, look what whoever's doing on Twitter, right? They're just keeping you out of that focus. Like, I'll just look over here and I'll post something on Facebook. That makes everything okay.
Well,
then.
That's exactly it. It's a distraction.
It's all a distraction.
Yeah, you have to look inward. You have to take care of your own business and not worry about what the other person's doing. That's basically it. Be the best person that you can be in as many aspects of your life that you can, and not worry about what everyone else is doing. And if you're looking for other people to change in order for you to be happy in your own life, it'll never happen. You have to accept people for the way they are, and look towards yourself to make the change. Because once you're vibrating at that frequency, other people will raise their vibration to meet yours. Yeah,
because people worry about what I'm thinking. Look, chemtrails. Look, chemtrails are real. We know it. Stop yelling it at people. Say your business, and then protect.
Share your ideas.
Share the information. Don't shout it down. This is why I don't come on here and go, you need to do this and you should do this. Because every time I do that, I get in trouble on the other side for telling you what you're supposed to do, even though I can see it. But we could all see what the other person needs from the outside, right? Mm-hmm. So just speak your truth and worry about yourself, okay? Those will be attracted to you because this is an electric universe. You're an attractor. You're a
overall energy,
Yeah, like you're receiving the transmission. You level up, your aura will go from you outward, and everything that comes in contact with you will start dealing with you on that level. Those that won't will reveal themselves to be whatever it is they are. Well, the message has changed. Society slightly infiltrated for a very long time now. And I'm not going to get into the shape-shifting reptilian stuff, but there are things among us, within us. You can't see it with your own eyes, but you could feel it when you're around. People want to yell at it demonic. They want to yell at it
artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. It's actually all happening at once. And how do we know that by now these things aren't just being birthed in from the other side? They talk about clones now. That's becoming the new in thing. Does Hillary Clinton have clones? They're putting this out there. It sounds clowny now, but you'll laugh at me for saying this, but the doubleganger is the next step. The doppelgangers, right? That's the next step, though, right? You get the war machine running it, so what better than having a clone taking the first attack anyway? I just worry about everyone, so I'm not going to tell you what you need to do, and here's my disclaimer. Everything I do, it's what I do. I don't suggest you go out and do it, but if you feel the need to do it or to follow along with the instructions, so to speak, then you're probably in needing of doing it. So go do it. See, that's how it works. If you feel you're a shaman, and you feel it, like you're helping constantly, and you want to know, and you have the ability to travel to the other side and speak, see, get knowledge, whatever it is you need to do, right? Then go do it. If you do it through meditation, fine. You do it through psychedelics, fine. Just do it. Do something. A lot of times you just have to think about it, right? So I don't know what my chakra system is or whatever. Get a little blueprint.
Ask.
Just ask. Just Google chakras, right? They'll have pictures. Go to the photos. Look at the photo. And then look at it and see. Picture has 1,000 words. Start looking at it. Dissect it a little bit and think of the colors. Colors unlock things. So as you go, oh, this thing is in my throat. It's supposed to be blue, right? Then go think it in your mind and then say blue. Like, what's in the blue? Think it. Then it starts to manifest. The information will start coming if you agree with the universe that you're ready to acquire this knowledge. This is the master will reveal itself when the student is ready. Mm-hmm. That's what they're talking about. You're the teacher. You'll hear me. I'll spark an influence, because if you're listening, then you probably want this information. Most likely you do. And you got to share it with everyone. You got to just not throw it down their throat. So that's my disclaimer. And don't forget to sign up on TFR.
Oh, Truth Frequency Radio. Get a subscription. There's a subscription for all budgets.
Yeah, there's monthly, 1 month, 3 months, 5 months, 10 months.
When they browse the website.
Yeah, you guys could check it out. And remember, because it's listener supported, we want to do the best thing we can do. Soon we'll be having guests too.
Yeah, to support your favorite shows.
We'll be dragging guests in they've been wanting to share their stories, because there's a lot more people like me than I thought. I may be here and this is happening, but right over in Brooklyn, there's a whole nother thing happening. And then right over in all the different places, we seem to be sprouting up.
Weirdos.
Oh, I love it though. Do you know how much knowledge I get from listening now? Just to these, there's a guy out there that did an interview. He's a black martial artist character, right? He's so calm and chill, and he's like a master. And then they asked him, what else do you do? And he says, I eat 35 dried grams of mushrooms, and I sit in complete darkness. And he's a warrior. This guy's a light warrior, right? So they asked him, well, oh my God, like, what happens to you? And he goes, I go in, and it's the deepest, darkest ends of what I can go to, and I battle along the way, every step of the way, for the information. Because if you say you go down a step and go linear, like side by side, there's things everywhere. So he said he falls into fight dragons and jinn, and what they gain is information. I was talking to you the other night, and I said, I was kind of in a meditative piece, and we were just talking, and I said, wow, Shiva like just popped in. He's the blue deity with the 6 arms and the red crystal in his head, and just started showering me with gold. And this is, I'm wide awake, this is happening. And what we were talking about was the real jewels and the real worth and the real, that's what you want here. That's earning the booty, you were saying. It's like the pirate booty. But we laugh at it, but really, that was the answer. Mm-hmm. The answer is this information and what we do with it. So tonight we're going to start with a new medicine, because we've been talking about ayahuasca, we talked about DMT. But the fungus among us is what we need to discuss. Something that's been here for arguably since the beginning. Arguably throughout everywhere in the universe, spread out, because spores live on meteors. It could live out in space. This stuff goes everywhere. Aya connects you to like the spirit of the planet and the greenery and everything around that way. The mushrooms, this is alien. It's like an alien life. Many things can happen. Sometimes you're kind of on your own. People experience bad trips. I had a bad trip. I had a bad this. I had a bad that. What I'm noticing is when I was younger, I had a lot of those experiences too, up and down, up and down. I had a few bad trips. My bad trips were attributed to one of them. I was having hardcore telepathy with everybody sitting in the car with me. And every single person in the car had some kind of problem. One character hid himself behind bricks. So he seen that I could see him. And then but in reality, he kept looking into the back seat at me almost like, what are you doing? Stop touching me almost. He had that look on his face. And I'm like, dude, what do you keep looking back here for? But I can see what was going on. And I was speaking to him, and I kept removing a brick and seeing him behind it going, what the hell are you doing, man? And he'd go, no, go away, and put another one. So I ignored him. I went to another guy. The other guy that was driving the car, he's a very good friend of mine, but he lives in the now. He always lives in the now.
That's awesome.
But he's crazy. But he does live in the now. So if anything ever happens, he's lived up to this moment, right, everything he possibly could.
Don't look behind.
So I couldn't talk to him at all because he was like, I don't have time for this. I'm living right now. And it was really weird. That was my first experience with that. I never understood that until recently. Mm-hmm. But now going back on this. Okay, so the kid next to me didn't have anything. He was sitting in like the middle seat. He absolutely had nothing going on. It was him and then him just sitting there again in his head. Then the kid next to him, this gets crazy. The kid next to him, my buddy, had the most frightening look on his face, like he was looking at a ghost or some kind of monster, which was me. And I was just leaning over, like giving him the look, like when you're tripping, like, hey, buddy, my trip buddy, what's going on? This kid's got nothing, and I'm trying to hang with you, buddy. And he looks at me. And he was so scared, he curled into a ball inside of his mind going, he sees me. We make jokes. They can hear us. He was doing, you're looking right at me, dude. This is frightening. So I put my head against the window of the car, and we were down in New York City. I was sitting in the back seat, and I was praying to get out of the situation. It was the worst because I was just trapped here.
So you turned to God?
No, I turned to look out the window, and a little kid the parents pulled up right next to us, and the little kid in the back seat was like out the window just staring at me. But we were only like 4 inches, 5 inches away because they were like, it was New York City. It was a Saturday night. We were right alongside each other. And I heard the kid was looking at me, and I heard him say, hey, it's okay, buddy. We could all do that. Just relax. You got to calm down. And I go, I could hear you, but your lips aren't moving. And then they drove off. Everybody thought we were crazy. And I said, you guys got to get me home. Now, is that really a bad experience? Inside, it felt like I was losing my mind.
According to what? I don't know.
I felt lost, like no one's listening. No one could hear me. And this child that just pulled up, he can hear me. So that's terrifying to a degree. I don't know what other evils people have within them, the darkness, you call it whatever you want. I mean, you're supposed to embody both sides, the yin and the yang. This is part of the big deal. You have the darkness as well as the light within you because you're everything. That could be very scary to people. I've been to Pink Floyd. I've watched things. I've been to Amsterdam, done things, weird experiences, things chasing me, looking at me. I can swear, and I don't mean like a flying hot dog that keeps following me. I mean, there's things that are there. They're coming up to you and speaking to you. That could be frightening. But we have calcified pineal glands. There's stuff in the water and the food, the preservatives. This stuff crusts over your most important thing. You should be taking some iodine, and you should be taking vitamin D. Those are things you should be doing, and getting tons of exercise. Wait. Feet in the grass. Here comes the rant. Looking up at the sun for like 15 minutes. And naturally, if you live in Florida, don't look directly at the sun. You might burn out your eyes. But you got to be literal. They'll be like, Frank told me to look at the sun. Now I can't see. I know it's funny, but we have to deal with this on these layers and levels, right? I know.
You're so right.
I wrote some stuff down every day, small escape, every day. Take a break, regain focus.
Okay.
This takes 5 minutes, but the first couple of times might take you a half hour because people are clouded up.
Keep reading.
Okay, essential oils. All right. Nature walks. Feel the grass or the sand in your feet, even dirt. Dirt's great. You now should talk about how it feels when you rubbed your hands through it, the dirt.
Oh, when I plant?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I feel renewed. I feel wonderful.
And
it's
almost
connected. Yeah.
It's like a meditation.
Yeah, it is like a meditation. It's wonderful.
Remember, your belief system needs to change. These things are here to upgrade your system, so to speak. You want knowledge, you want information. This is where it goes. Well, one thing I noticed that after ayahuasca, after DMT, after seeing my pineal gland explode and all that junk and crust come flying off of it, and it started pumping again, fresh liquid back into my head, the next thing I did was eat mushrooms because I heard from Aya herself, we can fix this and repair certain things in you, but the mushrooms will regrow the actual neural pathways you need inside your head for this to all work. Should be part of your diet. Microdosing. I didn't even know. I've never heard of microdosing, right? How long has mushrooms been around?
Mm-hmm.
Even my mother, who was kind of a hippie back in the Woodstock days, didn't microdose. Now, we don't need to be quiet about that. After like 30 to 40 years, you get away with murder. It's okay. But so I realize I still need help after I do. All right, I did Aya, made it after practicing, and now it was time to step out of that realm, go into the mushrooms, because Aya's like, there's more to the world, and you need more help. I felt it. I still had hard attachments. I didn't know how to stop thinking about this. Like, I talked to my body, how do I make my heart stop palpitating like crazy? I must have high blood pressure. I must be diabetic. I must be this. Man, I took that. I ate a couple of grams of mushrooms, and I sat back by myself. And this never had happened before. It was almost like a full DMT trip or ayahuasca trip, except it felt like there's a lot more with you, but you're more like you're on your own. Like Aya was with you when you do it. So even if you're presented by something and it frightens you, you can just say, please protect me. And she's, protected.
So you don't feel that safety? Is that what you're saying?
No, you have to rely more on, I guess, whoever's watching you, whoever's with you. Mm-hmm. You got to watch out, too, because you can say, hey, show me some stuff. And it will show you. I don't know if I discussed this before on any show. I might have, or we just maybe discussed this. My vision was taken over. So right in front of me, and this is with my eyes open. My eyes were not closed. I sat back and I seen three. It was like a movie screen, 3 movie screens next to each next to each other. And in one movie screen, there was these green spiders, and they were very friendly. And I never said anything like this. They were huge, and they wanted me to touch them, and they were like, "Oh, look, pet me," and they would come off the screen like, "Oh, hello, I'm here." The middle screen had black spiders with red eyes, and the spiders tried to attack me immediately when I looked at them, and they were vicious. They were so frighteningly scary because it was, even with the demons and the monsters, you still feel like, okay, I can do this. I was not expecting anything like this. The spiders were as big as me. They were jumping on me, trying to bite me. Things don't hurt you really on the other side. If you're like in that hollow, kind of like the hollow world where you're watching it occur, I don't know sometimes is this real time or am I watching something that happened? Is this interactive? Because things will bite me or touch me and it won't hurt. It won't even affect me. It'll bounce right off me or something. And other times it'll shock me to the floor.
Okay.
The third screen had metal spiders in them. Metallic spiders with 4 legs. They had like these little things to like detect stuff around them. You could tell they were like robots. And they walked directly into the other frame and started attacking the angry black spiders. They were eaten and broken apart and immediately understood their whole DNA structure, their life, everything about them, their past, their history. And then they poop out another metallic robot. Like they make another one. It was like nanotechnology.
That's absolutely horrifying.
And they went through all 3 because I don't know if I told the story or not. And seeing this was horrifying. And they said, this is just reality. What you're witnessing is what's really going on in some places. You have to understand this. There's entire solar systems where this is just done. It's taken over by this. And this is where it was like a transhumanistic agenda the mushroom approached me with, which made me see more artificial intelligence. Sometimes I'd have to ask characters around me, because when you see a talking squirrel that's following you and then it shows up as a bird over here and it's continuing its conversation with you, you wonder if it's part of the system or is this an organic thing that's occurring? Because it sure doesn't feel like the spirits are following me. It feels different. Like, where are the layers and where am I? Have you ever had a bad experience on mushrooms?
No, never.
And I don't mean to just put it out there.
But you did.
You know, it's crazy. I met a cloud of consciousness who found it very interesting that the male people, the male gender, pokes the female gender with their fleshy stick, which was hysterical to me because they feel that bliss could be achieved mentally. So he told me how disgusting he thought sex was here while showing...
On this planet?
Yeah. He said, "Matt, can I just like blend with you a little bit?" And I said, I think that's kind of dangerous, but you seem innocent enough. And we just blended. And the first thing it said to me, "That is disgusting." And I said, "No, that's fun." And he said, no, this is how we do it. And it was like hitting a button of pure bliss. And I was like, wow, this is insane. I said, but there's no lead up to it.
No interaction?
No, it's just you sitting in bliss. There's no, "Hi, how you doing? Nice to meet you. You want to get a drink?" and blah, blah, blah. And then it goes on, and then you have the whole lead up into the sexual experience. There's none of that. It's just bliss. So he didn't understand the layers in between. And I said, no, see, that's part of why we're here, to have that in between. So you know what it's like. So you know what everything is like. So you experience, everybody experiences their experience and takes that back with them. And then you gain that back on the other side. Yeah, it's almost like we're coming down to the break right now. I want to give a shout out to everybody at Truth Frequency Radio for being so awesome. Thank you for letting me speak my truth. So many great other hosts. Check out a lot of the other shows. And when we come back, the plants start to speak to me. That was the weirdest one. When the plants start talking. TruthFrequencyRadio.com. Check it out. Your protection from deception.
Sometimes I feel like I'm running down the sands of time. Another drink of ayahuasca just to free my mind. I hope to find another day what I've lost before. I'm trying to find my second wind so I can win some more. Don't try to tell me how it is or what can't be done.
Radio Ranch with Robert Sales. Monday through Friday. On Truth Frequency Radio.
Am I awake or is this a dream? A fantasy where I'd rather be. So come and talk with me. Come and walk with me. Is this a wake-up call from my reality? Have you seen my friends? Have you seen my girl? Wake me up from this. I'm trapped in this world.
Yo, what's up, everybody? We're back. Frank Castle, Paula. Shout out to everybody in the chat room tonight, every night. It's great to have a new family. Feels good to be with everyone.
It does feel good to be with everyone. There's a lot of agreement among the shows. You really need to listen. Sign up for a subscription. I think there's a mobile app also. Get the mobile app.
That's definitely good stuff. And don't forget to check out Heist Click. That's me, HeistClick on Twitter and Facebook. You can check us out there. It's the music. It's all, if you like what you're hearing, check it out. It's something for everyone. So one of the things I notice, the connections to not only, I guess, us, astral, etherical, but also to animals, plants, and the people around us. This is what I was trying to say before. Like, we're connected, and these things are happening maybe behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, everywhere.
Everywhere, and the plants are
the plants are feeling
talking.
it. The animals are feeling it.
Animals,
I think it's an energy because the animals play off us. For example, a house cat. If you're upset, the cat is upset. If you're happy, the cat's happy. I mean, they play off your energy. Anyone in the household.
Well, we were saying how the kids are a direct reflection of the parents. So
yes.
That was one of the things we had spoke about.
So it's very easy to say when you do not have children. However, it does not make it any less true. There are some bad kids out there, and you look at the parents and you go, but what is wrong?
Yeah, everyone will be looking at everyone like, hey, how did this happen? We don't know how this happened.
We don't know.
They're running with your energy and the things that you do. So during this... because everybody like Terrence McKenna and Joe Rogan and those guys, which is how I first came through the open door of this whole thing. I've always known about mushrooms, but if I would have never did Aya and never did DMT, I don't think the mushrooms would have worked the way they started working. It became different. It was like a full Aya experience or a DMT experience.
But a
now.
completely organic experience.
Yes. Now, I'm still attached to everything, but what it is I can go piece by piece. So I can attach to the plants. Like, so the house plants are around me. And I started, all I did was look up. That's how this whole thing started. And the plant next to me said, I heard someone say, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm like, for what? I didn't know who was talking. I literally didn't even know it was the plant that was next to me thanking me for being there, just for everything. You water me every day. You look at me every day. You talk to me every day. And I'm like, is this the plant talking to me? Like, I just turned my head. I noticed as I got closer to it, I put my head closer. That seems to be like the thing, like if you kind of can't hear it, you focus intent onto the whatever. And then it changes. Like you'll hear the conversation instead of kind of hearing it in passing. So I stood up and I said, you're very welcome. That's very nice. And they said, the plant said to me about trimming it. Like I wasn't very green hand. It had some browning leaves.
Oh, and you pulled them off?
It said to me, could you do that for me?
Oh, so
okay. So I snapped one off. I said, that
so
just
it was
came.
Thanking you for doing that. The plant was thanking you.
Yeah, so there was all these things going on, and I noticed that there's many plants are in the house. So we had one plant that was bending the wrong way out towards the window, and each node seemed to be speaking to me on this plant. And it was going, hey, thanks a lot, buddy. You know that we really appreciate blah blah blah. And then there was a broken one, and the conversation as I was watching it go up, it shorted out and then restarted here. And it was like, hey, do you think you could turn me around? And then it was kind of crazy. It was like talking to a crazy person, but a cool crazy person. It was multiple voices, but of the same consciousness, I thought. And they were explaining, hey, each one of these is a brain.
Yeah, well, we are supposed to be connected to the earth, to the planet. I
started seeing it as electric circuits, like that we would connect to go directly, like the way we touch it and just breeze up against it. Now we can communicate with whatever, I don't know. It seems to know quite a bit of everything.
Yeah,
There was there were different species of plant that they were explaining to me, look, these things talk, these things are alive, these ones walk around, these ones, go underground. And I'm like, hey, this is amazing. Like, is everything connected? Now I find myself talking to the plants. I had a aloe plant that was growing beautifully, and I touched it every day. I'd walk by it, ding-a-ling-a-ling-ling, right? And I would just,
good boy.
Hey, buddy, you're growing really good. I went close to it. That green spider from earlier that I saw get eaten, that was very nice to me. There was a couple of them in that movie frame. Looked like one of them came directly out of the plant, right? And it was just sitting there, and I saw the eyes, and I went, oh my God, giant tarantula, green, cute spider. It was gigantic, but it was the plant. It was like the whole plant. And then I realized, no, that's the consciousness that resides in the plant. And it said, I'm slow, and I appreciate what you're doing, but you make me nervous every time you put the tip, like I would go, I'm going to bite you. It would make it nervous, thinking I was going to bite it. And I felt bad. And I said, no, I'll take it.
Terrible. So that energy made the plant energy feel bad?
No. The spider was the consciousness of the plant.
Oh, okay.
So it would come out and say, hey, be careful with me.
Okay.
I'm very slow. I don't need much water. So I appreciate everything you do, but you make me nervous. I said, well, now that I know you're talking to me, you make me very nervous as well.
Yeah.
So one of the things I did at that point, I sat on the floor with my iPad, and I started going, I wonder what happens, because I haven't been listening to music with lyrics in a while. Everything has been like Akira or meditation or binaural beats of some kind. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a great test for anyone out there that is doing this, but concentrate on what I'm telling you to do so you'll see it right away. I was in an open construct. On the other side, it would be open space looking. Okay. Right? So it's just, there's plenty of stuff to do. Like nothing's in your way, nothing's impeding you, nothing's standing there, nothing's talking to you. You feel freedom. You're like, manifest time. Music comes on. First, I played a Prince song just to hear it. It was a little much for me, so I changed it for what I was doing. But that song, Happy, came on. and I talk about this sometimes.
I know you don't like that song.
No, well, I had to
Poor
put it.
Pharrell.
Listen, I listen to that song and I'm so unhappy. I'll sing along with it and still be unhappy. And I'll smile like I'm happy, and you'll know I'm unhappy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I always thought there was a trick going on there.
There could be. It could be.
Being in the music industry, I always knew something was up. I've talked about all the things I saw that were up, and now I'm learning something that I'd never seen before. The happy construct, this is what I started calling it, came up around me. It was a red energy room, floor, ceiling, lines on the side, keeping you enclosed. And as the music and the beat went, there were flashes of people, just like in the video, smiling, these like kind of waving at each other, like,
okay.
Yay, I'm so happy, right?
Okay. Oh,
but you couldn't go any further than a few feet in either direction and anywhere else. So, like, there was almost no room to dance with anyone if you wanted to. This is how the room felt to me.
So you couldn't really move.
No, and I started feeling like... Now, it was cute for a second when it first started, and the dun, 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 and I was like, oh, this is cool, okay. And then I went, oh, my God, stop this song, lowercase g. Stop the song, get this off right now. As the music went off, the construct stopped.
Sure, and you could breathe again.
Woo!
Probably.
Put it back on. I want to see something here. Now, I have a turntable, so I just put it on, and I started wicked doing stuff like that, and the construct would build around me.
As soon as you started to play.
And then stop it, it would fall apart, restart it, it would start up again. So I go, oh, there's frequency and vibration building rooms around us in the music. This would explain why when I saw them bless the masters, when I was working with the Def Jam guys, I was watching what they were doing, and you get it. They put demons in the masters, and then the copies go out, and then each thing gets you to do whatever, makes you feel happy, but you're unhappy. It's all part of the trick. I didn't know that rooms were actually being built around you to cause this.
Right.
So immediately, to put everything to the test, I turned on Freebird. Had to do it. Put it on. I see the same thing that would encase me during the other song coming in, like, up from behind me, out. It was infinite. Onward.
So it was a good energy that you felt when you heard that music.
I could not believe that this was actually... All right, people talk about magic. This is all magic. Everything is magic. They know what they're doing. It's not just making music. If you make music and it makes you feel good, and the music has that love and that vibe that goes on.
The intent that's set in.
The intent, thank you. It goes on, and each room is reconstructed, and they're not really rooms. They're more like situational effects that change and rotate and move. Nothing traps you and binds you and makes you feel tight and small.
Right.
Well, started playing all the songs in my iPad, started playing my own songs. Unfortunately, even some of my own songs had it.
Really?
Yes, but the intention felt all right. It just felt more like I was going to a piece in time, and I had to stand in this room to effectively hear that track, and then
I see what you're saying.
Whatever happened from that time kind of felt like it was coming up. Didn't make me feel bad, but those were also some of the tracks that we did when we were working there with the same people.
Right.
So sometimes I believe you're participating in ritualized magic that they know has some kind of control on you, or at least for the moment that the song is on. So if a song gets played like a million times and you know it's on Spotify and it's just being blasted by another billion times, start questioning what you're listening to. Just for a second, see what you feel.
Yeah. How do you feel when you hear that music?
Exactly. What is it attracting to you?
Or how do you feel when you hear anything? How do you feel when you talk to someone that does not make you feel good? Don't do things that do not make you feel good. Stop doing them. Even if you can stop a little bit each day, it makes a very big difference in the way you see yourself. If you do not see yourself in a positive light, no one else will.
That's right. There's another thing to do, right? When people say, well, what do I do? Follow what she just said exactly. That's a good thing to do.
Your best
the
self.
Music is a metaphor
metaphor
for what is actually happening with interactions with people as well. You have to start seeing this as energy and vibration and frequency. If you're running up and they go, I don't know why they're just not listening to me. They ask for the information. They want to, but they totally go and do whatever the hell they want to do. That's because you can't really do that. Your influence isn't, you can't run up and just magic someone like that. You can't do it.
It doesn't work that way.
You have to go up and you have to like plant the seed, so to speak, and let them do it on their own. That's why they say sometimes you have to let your kids off the hook and let them just go live their lives a little bit, you know. Let them. You just can't contain them in those rooms. No. All right. So spell casting is the music, the sound, the vibration, motion, sound, intention, frequency, vibrations. And you manifest by putting yourself into different modes. So what are you bringing to you when you're hearing this stuff? Like, what if you're hearing a depressing track and there's I noticed this as a teenager, you're influenced more by the something in the song will get you and make you feel like, oh, he understands. I'm so lonely in this world. Nobody understands me or whatever. When that starts going on,
I think it's a frequency. It's calling.
Yeah.
It's almost calling.
Yeah, you just have to beware because while you're sending out, you're like, oh, he gets it. Some of that stuff is magic, and you're letting that in. I noticed that like loners have this problem. You know, like, I'm so alone. You don't need bear. You're putting yourself in like a bubble, like a magic bubble that nobody could actually see you and do anything. So like I've heard one of the people we know said like, oh, I could walk through a war zone where everyone's shooting and I'm like invisible. Like I'll walk through, bullets will fly right by me, nothing will hit me. That's how invisible I am to people. Right? And that's the same thing going on. You become part of your magic is what shuts you in and you become invisible. Doesn't mean you're literally invisible.
That's a good way to look at it.
But you'll be the person that walks by. Nobody will remember because nobody's paying.
You made it that way.
Yeah. But now nobody will talk to you. You have problems with everyone. Anyone that comes in contact with you. Oh, I can't keep a friend. I can't keep a loved one. It ruins this. It ruins that. All of this is your doing. Okay? And some people actually feel bad, and like parents will tell them, you're no good, you'll never be anything, you'll never do anything like this. This is them spell casting at you, an energy. You're no good, right? And you're sitting there going, you're impressionable, you're young, and you might be saying to yourself, I guess I'm no good. Yeah. Now the magic turns, and it actually works on you, and then you get a screwed up kid.
Yeah, and you start believing it.
Yeah, that's the rough thing, you know? People that are perfectly awesome will look at themselves in the mirror and believe that they need a boob job, a facelift, or this or that. There's legitimacy out there. This is why you have the ability to do it. But those that don't need it will see ugliness in the mirror and try to change it, thus creating an uglier even creature. What is going on inside of that? All of this is happening that we're talking about. There's rooms and frequencies, vibrations, things around you. You should be manifesting. You should be tuning in to your frequency and vibration of your higher self and sending it out there. This is what it was trying to teach me.
But this is also how you're helping get people there too, you know? So you're actually teaching and you're teaching. I'm teaching and I'm
learning though. Because it when I revisit this stuff, I learn again.
Yeah.
The whole thing. And I mean, I know I have to chop it up and I got to keep it under a certain time limit. I could actually talk forever about this stuff, but I want to get to a point, like I said, where we catch up to everything.
Oh, okay.
So I find myself inside these constructs. I do this for about an hour or two, and I say to myself, this is pure alchemy. Like, I'm a musician. Well, I'm in a music group, and I produce. So I'm actually capable of doing this now that I realize it. And then it almost becomes like, well, what do you do with it?
Right.
I find myself wanting to just free up the music now. So like more, not that I'm going to be like the free bird, but my music hopefully will reflect more of that. And if I encase you in some kind of box, trust me, it's going to be filled with light and it's going to be filled with awesomeness. And, hopefully that passes on because I know some of it gets dark at times. Okay, so I'm in a construct now and the construct's open again. It's all open space. I turn the music off. I'm like, I've had enough of that. I kind of want to see what's next. But now I'm comfortable. There's like this weird rhythm with me. that I'm there. Like my eyes are open. I know that I would be tripping balls, they would say, right? But I'm totally aware, absolutely fine, and can see all that stuff. So I see the space construct around me. So the next thing that comes up, well, now you're not scared. Because like this whole thing, every step I took, I was scared. But I just...
That's harsh. Yeah,
I manned up. This is how they would say it here. Man up, son, man up. I would man up and say, no, I need this. It's medicine, it's medicine, but you got to go through the process. But you love the process, but I'm so scared of the process. Oh my God, you don't know what's going to happen. I feel great now. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, meditation time. They say, sit here and meditate, right? So okay. I cross my legs and I sit back. I even try to, I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm kind of like, should I open them? I'm making these little signs or whatever.
The Om sign.
Okay, so I'm sitting there like, do I leave my hands open? They're like, just put your hands on your knees. Relax. And I relax and I find myself feeling the best I've ever felt and not even realizing that I'm tripping. Now, this is where it gets a little weird. I look over and everything goes orange, the color orange. It was pretty interesting. It was like the best color orange I ever saw.
Wow. Inside
of that room of orange, I started to see the lines develop to show that you're in a room. It was boxing me in. So I was seeing the lines of the walls forming and the ceiling forming. Okay. But riding along the line coming into the room, which it was like a line that came from out of nowhere. Like it just, I don't know where that came from. I'm like, hey, they're building rooms around me. And Buddha flew, little fat Buddha with the little robe on and the smile, big smile, like that Mr. Magoo smile almost. We had his hands like in the prayer, had his legs were crossed though. He had his like up on each other, like professional meditation legs. And he was smiling at me. And he came right in and I went, Buddha, you're real? Now, I said that while smiling at him. So I said, I'm not using my mouth. Yeah, this is good. This is good. And he floated at me. He floated toward me. That sounded silly. And I realized that I was floating.
That sounds silly. that he floated towards you sounds silly. Not all.
No, it was the way I said it. So he was agreeing with me that I was like, oh, I guess everything is real. And he agreed. But
it is real. Everything
but
is
when you meet
real.
When you meet.
And this is someone who doesn't need to take psychedelics to get to the other side. It is all real. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize because you're absolutely correct. But every time you encounter, well, me, this is how I am. Some people have a different approach to it, but I'm like, wow, look at you. You're here too. I think that's a better approach than, yo, what up?
Yeah, well, you have to go in with respect and adoration no matter what it is. And unfortunately, there are more non-human entities than there are human entities at this point. So you have to go in with respect and adoration. Respect is the one, I think it's the common thread between all entities is respect.
That is all you have to do. We talked about this earlier, prayer, right?
Yeah.
You can be...
Or intention, not to offend. Prayer or intention.
Well, like I was thinking this. You want to contact an entity, right? I was doing the Om Namah Shiva, right?
Yeah.
I play that sometimes because I'm learning as I go that these are like thankful, helpful ways. The meditation sends it out to the entity. The entity arrives, and whether it's healing or knowledge or information during your meditation, during this 15 minutes, because it's only 15 minutes long, I think they do it 108 times, right? So then your mind's rough at first, and you're sitting there, they're like, oh, then it changes to, I kind of feel good right now. Like your mind slows up, and you're like, me personally, I start looking for the entity. Hey, what's up, buddy? You here? And
because you have to push every button. Right.
Well, because I'll do it for respect now.
Sure.
Not for me, for you. Because you're awesome for helping constantly, that people don't even know that you're helping them all day long. And it's like, right, I know. But how do you let people know that? You throw it out there, you tell them to look for yourself, find them They're out there. They're with you. People go, oh, angels follow me around all day. And then they'll hear what I say and think I'm a clown. And I'll go, I think you're a clown for thinking that angels are the only things that are around you.
But it's the level of comfort you are with hearing about non-human entities. It's the level of comfort you have in your own faith or belief system.
Right. Well, there's a holy shit moment, honestly, at every turning point. Every time you meet upward and outward, one of these things enters the room. You know, it's almost like a test. Like when you start doing this, like you're calling it to you, like I'm ready.
We had a holy shit moment the other night. You want to mention it? I mean, you might as well, because it fits right in with what you're saying.
Yeah, because we're gonna do a part 2 to the mushrooms. So
look, believe it or not, you know, it's up to you. You believe the story or not, but it was wild.
Okay, every once in a while, one of these entities will directly, like, reach out and physically touch me. I do not like that. What we were doing, sitting down talking. Mm-hmm. You were running the hand over my head.
Yes.
Okay. When she does this, it does something to my energy.
You become connected.
Yeah, I become hyper connected, though. So I was explaining that I became in this relaxed mode, like I almost dropped, like, ugh, so calm. And now I'm seeing faces. It seemed to come out of this white static. They were just jumping out, and it was a human face, and then an eyeball, and it was just flicked, like it blinked. Mm-hmm. Then the eyeball changed into another eyeball. It was a reptilian eyeball. Then it changed into an animal eyeball. Then it looked completely alien. Then they were alien faces, like just coming up out of this. It was like they were popping up. You were seeing them, and they were going back, popping up.
Right, just showing themselves to
Right,
you.
and I didn't know if this was live or not, because I'm like, are you guys showing me, like, random aliens
we were just
and
sitting
people?
On the couch.
And then it got so crazy. An alien, it had like a triangle face, a long face, and it was like it had an arm with an elbow that was bent, not like ours. It was like the opposite way. Right? So that was like an insectoid of some kind. Looked at me, and it popped up as the other faces were still going. And I went, oh, and it was right after I asked if this was live. I thought they were just teaching me something or whatever. And it reached out and stuck me right in my eardrum. Like it hit me dead perfect in my ear. And I looked at it and I went, oh, and then I screamed. I was like, oh, did you just touch me? And I listen, I was so calm in a meditation. I was just relaxing. And I'm like, did you just touch me? I just yelled that out. This thing jumped back into frame and did it again. And just stepped up. I'm remembering it, and it was so powerful. I was so angry at that moment. But what I did was I calmed down after my little hoo-ha rant, because then is this real? Is this real? Well, of course this is real at this point. Yeah. Let's not be ridiculous. There's things happening around us all the time, and we're antennas, we're projecting, we're pulling in, we're looking at, putting it under the magnifying glass, we're asking for information about it, and you don't think something else is going to pop in the frame and say, hey, what are you doing? I'm right here, hi.
Yeah, every once in a while.
But I did think it was a douche move, but I thought about it and said, there's the proof. You need any more proof? Because it's just going to keep happening to you. Next week, we meet... the female cat lady. Check it out. It's truthfrequencyradio.com. Thank you. May the sauce be with you. Have a great night. Don't forget to check out Chris and Cherie up next.